Chapter 4083. The first is more. I'll tell you the truth, 30,000 source rocks of the universe, this matter will end. Jian Wushuangdou. You wait here. The Thunder Palace master immediately returned to the Thunder Palace and began to prepare for the 30,000 cosmic source stones. After all, the 30,000 cosmic source stones are not a small number. Although the Thunder God Palace can be taken out, it is also hurting. After a while, the Lord of the Thunder God Palace returned to Jian Wushuang before, and at the same time he brought a Qian Kuan ring to Jian Wushuang. 30,000 source rocks of the universe are all here. Thunder Palace said. Jian Wushuang glanced briefly and nodded slightly. Master of Thunder God Palace, where is the woman named Aba now? Jian Wushuang asked. She opened a tavern in the Dust and Rain world. Over the years, my Thunder Palace has always sent strong men to protect her secretly. After all, this seat promised that Xuani personally, to protect her thoughtful, naturally not forward. Thor Shrine said. You're smart. Jian Wushuang smiled, and immediately stopped staying, turning and leaving. Seeing Jian Wushuang finally leaving, the Lord of Thunder God Palace, and a large number of strong men in Thunder God Palace, exhaled heavily. This horrible guy finally left. The Blood Thunder Army Master also had a lingering fear. Although Jian Wushuang left, it has to be said that Thunder God Palace did carry a heel this time. After leaving Thor's palace, Jian Wushuang went directly to the Dust and Rain astral world, and Cold Frost naturally followed him. The Dust Rain astral realm is just an ordinary secondary astral realm, controlled by His Majesty Thor's palace. In a city in this astral realm, there is a tavern. The pub is small in size and very simple, but there are many guests in the pub. And many of these guests are actually directed at the owner of this pub. Look, this lady is really pretty. It's more than beautiful, this face, this figure is just perfect. Unfortunately, she was born as a slave, and she always has a special mark on her hand that can never be erased. It would be more perfect without this mark. There were whispers in the tavern, and some fiery eyes, from time to time looked at the plain robe woman in front of the pub counter. The woman was slender, and although she was wearing a simple plain robe, she couldn't hide her nearly perfect body, and then matched it with an all-encompassing face. It felt like a goddess fell into the dust. But this woman's appearance is undoubtedly enough to shock the world. I'm afraid that the entire Dust and Rain world can hardly find a second person who can match her in appearance. Because of this, the business of this tavern will be so good. The guests came to the tavern to see the boss. At this time, you're the owner of this tavern? A sudden murmur sounded suddenly. In the tavern, the sound of whispering stopped immediately, and the eyes of the guests immediately looked at the source of the sound. When they saw the person's appearance clearly, most of them showed a playful smile. It was a young man in a luxurious suit who made a squeaking voice. The young man was followed by two guards, who were so arrogant that they were the two masters. Being able to have the two lords as guards has fully demonstrated the extraordinary origins of this young man. And the beautiful woman who had been busy at the counter also looked up slightly, looked at the young man, and then lowered her head, and continued to do her own thing. Well, I heard that in this tavern, there is a terrific boss lady. Seeing today, it did not disappoint me. The young man smiled. Girl, my name is He Yin, my father is Wan Yen. Your Majesty controls countless territories. A beauty like you should not be a boss lady in a tavern in this city. Instead, go back with me. I promise you to be windy in this dusty world. If you want rain to rain, why not hurry? The young man He Yin said with absolute confidence. He did have this confidence. His father, Wan Yen, was indeed a hegemon in this dusty world. But after this He Yin's words were finished, the beautiful woman still kept her head down, and was busy with her own affairs, and ignored him at all. This made the expression on He Yin's face froze slightly, and his look was quite awkward. But after that he was angry. Girl, don't toast or not to eat and drink. The woman I want to get from He Yin has never gotten. He Yin's voice was cold, and the two guards behind him were staring at it coldly. Beautiful woman. Obviously, as long as the beautiful woman doesn't agree, they will shoot directly. But they did not notice that the guests in the tavern were looking at them with compassion, especially Na Hyun. Boom! A powerful breath erupted suddenly. This breath directly reached the 4th level, and instantly oppressed He Yun and his 2 guards. The 2 guards, who were only the 1st level dominating level, immediately showed horror. The 2 were shivering and shivering. As for that He Yun is just the ruler. At this moment the spar was suppressed and lay directly on the ground. Go away, otherwise die. A cold drink sounded in the ears of the 3 He Yun at the same time. He Yun's 2 guards were so scared that the spirits flew away, and immediately dragged that He Yun away. After the 3 of them left, the breaths slowly converged. When the guests in the tavern saw this scene, they were all surprised. That He Yun just now is really embarrassing. Haha, he is also stupid. He didn't inquire about the identity of the boss before stealing people. She was let the Thunder Palace guard himself. Not to mention that his father was just a 4th ranker in the Dust and Rain world dominated. Even if the first strongest in the Dust and Rain world came, I dare not dare to pay her attention. If I remember correctly, this He Yun should be the 21st person who has been scared in these years. The guests in the tavern chat and laugh at will. They all live in this town, so naturally they know a little bit about the identity of the tavern owner. They know that the origin and background of the owner of this tavern is not something that can be provoked by people in the Dust and Rain world. And just after He Yun was scared away, 3 figures slowly came in at the door of the pub. After the 3 of them arrived, they went directly to the pub counter, in front of the beautiful woman. Chapter 4084. 2 more arrived today. You are Abba? Jian Wushuang carefully looked at the woman in front of her. I have to say that this woman is beautiful, pure in appearance, not even under her own coldness. It's just that this woman was born as a slave, and although she has become the ruler, she obviously relies on treasures to pile up directly, resulting in a very ordinary temperament, even giving people a very humble feeling, naturally a little bit of taste. You know my name? The beautiful woman who had been busy couldn't help looking up, and looked at Jian Wushuang in wonder. She doesn't actually have a name. Abba, she was picked up when she was a slave, and she just called out. But not many people know her name in this world. My name is Jian Wushuang and Xianyi is my master. Jian Wushuang said directly. Big brother Xian? Are you a big brother Xian's disciple? Aba's voice became obviously more urgent than before. Xian brother? Jian Wushuang frowned, but followed with a smile. I am indeed his disciple. If you are convenient, can you talk to me? This. But Aba showed embarrassment. Are you worried about Thunder God Palace? Jian Wushuang glanced at Aba. Aba is silent. Rest assured, Thunder God Palace will not disturb us. Jian Wushuang smiled. At this time, a figure suddenly appeared beside Jian Wushuang. The deacon Bai Yang has met the Bloodsword Master. Do you know me? Jian Wushuang glanced at the poplar. Return to my lord. I have been instructed to protect the 8th girl secretly, and not long ago, the host of my house summoned me personally, saying that you will come here, Lord Bloodsword, and will receive me, and meet all your requirements as much as possible. Aspen said. So it is. Jian Wushuang nodded. Girl Aba, this Bloodsword Master, is indeed Zuani's disciple. He also visited Zunyi's palace because of Zuani's affairs. He also had some unpleasantness with mine. But now the conflict has been resolved, and now the Lord Bloodsword wants to talk to you, the 8th girl. Then I will naturally avoid the Thunder Palace. Bai Yang was very humble. At the words of Aspen, Abba was surprised. You know, although this poplar has been protecting her in secret, but Aba knows that this poplar has always been very cold, and he only protects himself by orders, but never really looks down on himself. But now this high-cold poplar is so humble and kind to her? Abba instantly realized that it was not her who changed this poplar's attitude, but now the sudden appearing Bloodsword Master, who is also a disciple of her elder brother. I'll follow you, Abba said directly. Okay, let's find a place to talk. Jian Wushuang smiled, then glanced at the poplar again. You stay here honestly. Yes. Bai Yang didn't dare to disobey. Soon Jian Wushuang took Abba away. After he left, the people in the tavern exploded. Who was that guy just now? I don't know who he is, but the poplar just claimed to be the deacon of the Thunder God Palace. But that is the Thunder God Palace. Even a deacon, usually a 4th-level master, can he serve? It is indeed dominated by the 4th grade. And it has been no accident that he has been protecting this 8th girl secretly. It should be him, like the He-Yin before. Not by the poplar in his eyes, even the one behind He-Yin. Wan Yen, he probably didn't care. But he was just as respectful as the grandson when he faced the person just now. Well, it can make the deacon on the periphery of Thunder Palace so respectful. This is the real big man. The guests in the pub were admiring one after another, but this matter had nothing to do with them at all, and they were just talking about relish. In an empty void not far from the tavern, Jian Wushuang waved his hand to completely shield the surrounding space and time. Girl ABA, I came to you this time, mainly to ask some things about my master. Jian Wushuang went directly to the topic. Master Bloodsword, since you're a disciple of Brother Xian, you should know more about Brother Xian than I do? Abba wondered. It's true, I'm his disciple, but when I worshipped him as a teacher, I wasn't in this star field at all, but in another relatively distant star field, and I was separated from him very early. Jian Wushuang smiled bitterly. Is that so? Abba took a deep look at Jian Wushuang and wondered if he was in doubt. Girl 8, can I know, what is the relationship between you and my master? Jian Wushuang asked. Me? I'm just a maid beside Big Brother Xian. Abadeo. Servant. Jian Wushuang couldn't help wondering. He knew, however, that for the sake of this 8th, Xuani did not hesitate to kill Thunder Wing on the first day of the Thunder God Palace, for which he completely offended the Thunder God Palace. Later, for the sake of Abba, he took the initiative to go to the Thunder Palace to die. Just a maid, is it worth his master to do so? I'm really just a maid next to Brother Xian. Even more than 100,000 years ago, I didn't know him at all. Only once, when I was in danger, Brother Xian just passed by and saved me. And the people who wanted to harm me at the time were the people in Thunder Palace, who wanted to catch me in the first genius dedicated to Thunder Palace. And after Brother Xian rescued me, it didn't take long for the first day of the Thunder God Palace to come to me. I thought that Brother Xian should hand me over, but I did not expect that shoot and kill the first day of that Thunder Palace. Abba said. Hearing this, Jian Wushuang was even more confused. It was just that Ping Shui met, and his master saved this Abashan's hand, but he was still with him afterwards? And when the Thunder Palace only came to the door on the first day, still killing the first one directly. Girl 8, do you know that I respect him? Why do you do that? Jian Wushuang asked. I know. Abba nodded slightly. I didn't know it until later. It turned out to be very similar to that of Xian's wife. What? Jian Wushuang stunned. Wife? Does he have a wife? That's why, when Brother Xian saw that Thunderwing was misbehaving to me, he shot and killed him, and then took me to hide in Jiao Starfield. After nearly 100,000 years. But during the 100,000 years, most of my Brother Xian just looked at me quietly, but he hardly talked to me. For 100,000 years, what he said to me would add up to less than 10 sentences. Abadeo. Just came back today, update normally, and start to make changes tomorrow without accident. Chapter 4085. The first is more. After Jian Wushuang had a brief conversation with Abba Yifan, Jian Wushuang knew that this woman named Abba really met her own master, only because he looked like his master's wife, and his master would rescue him. Nothing more. Girl ABA, do you know why my master asked him to go to Thunder Palace to die? Jian Wushuang asked again. I don't know. Abba shook his head. But when Brother Xian said when he left, all he had to do was done, there was no need to continue. Jian Wu's eyes and pupils shrank immediately. Has everything been done? No need to exist. This feeling is as if you have completed your mission, and you can retire. But what did his master do in these 9 starfields? According to the information he received from the Judy Pavilion, his master has always been relatively low-key in acting in the Jiao Starfield. Except for the conflict with the Thunder God Palace, he has not caused any major movement in the Jiao Starfield. What? The sword is incomprehensible. But when Jian Wushuang talked to Abba, no one knew that a huge storm was about to sweep across the entire Jiao Starfield. In the dark void surrounding the old nest of Thor's temple, An ancient and towering spacecraft came here. In the spacecraft, 3 figures gathered together. Is that the old nest of the Thunder Temple in front? The husky voice emanated from one of the shadows. Well, this reward from the Thunder Temple, let us find a trace of him. Speaking of which, we also thank you so much for this Thunder Palace. But recently, this Thunder Palace has quietly revoked the reward. Perhaps Thunder Palace has found him and killed it? Another low voice sounded. Joke, you guys aren't clear about the means of this guy. There is a Thunder Palace him. But this Throne Palace has cost so much to reward him. And now it has quietly revoked the reward. There must be some reason for this. For this specific reason, let's ask it in person, Bite 7, and you go with me. One of them stood up. This figure is more than 3 meters high like a hill. Well, I'm extremely happy. The first figure to speak also stood up. Soon, the 2 figures left the cosmic boat. And before they ran away towards the old nest of the Thunder Temple. The old nest of Thor's palace, in Juyo's large star domain, is an iron bucket. After all, the foundation of Thor's palace is there. And even the ordinary guards of Thor's palace can be defeated. This is also the first time that Jian Wushuang killed the front of Thor's palace. But it can only be blocked there. The reason is not to kill. But today, I saw a burly man with a red gold body armor appearing in front of the towering law formation. His big hand directed at the palace guard formation below. The rich golden light exploded, carrying the mighty power of the earth, and instantly descended on the guardian circle. The palace guardian array did not have any resistance ability, and it broke down and collapsed only momentarily. This sudden upheaval has surprised countless strong men in Thor's palace. The palace guardian was destroyed? How is that possible? How can I destroy the palace of the Thunder Palace? Who is it? Who destroyed it? Countless strong men in Thunder Palace raised their heads in horror. The 3 ultimate masters of the Thunder Palace, the throne of the Thunder Palace, the elder of the Thunder Palace, and the main leader of the Blood Thunder Army, also looked at them in horror. There was a figure shrouded in rich golden light. The golden light shone on the sky, like a golden of war. And with the cold eyes of this golden of war, he looked down. The breath of terror that even the ultimate dominator suffocated was instantly spread, oppressing the audience. At this moment, the entire Thunder Palace was silent. Extreme Supreme. The throne of the Thunder Palace, terrifying. In fact, it is also very easy to understand that the throne of the Throne Palace cannot be defeated without supreme strength. However, the opponent just smashed the throne of the Throne Palace, and this strength must be of the highest level. But how could the supreme class strong come to the Juyao Starfield? And why did they come to their Thunder Palace? And without any word, they directly defeated the Thunder Palace guard array. At this moment, the eyes of the Golden of War in the top of the void just swept over the Lord of the Thunder God Palace. The next moment, the Golden of War waved a huge palm and lightningly arrested the throne of the Thunder Palace, the elder of the Thunder Palace, and the main leader of the Blood Thunder Army. The 3 of them wanted to escape in horror, only to find that their bodies couldn't move at all, and they could only watch the palm of the hand grabbing them all. The 3 powerful ultimate masters, especially the Thunder Palace master, still exist at the top of the ultimate masters. But in front of the Golden of War above the void, they are like chickens, without any resistance. Pung! With that big hand, the 3 bodies of the Thunder Palace masters were instantly pinched and burst, and even the divine power of the 3 was annihilated by more than 90% at this moment. In the blink of an eye, the 3 ultimate masters were all in a state of extreme weakness, and only a breath was left. 7 entrusted to you. The Golden God of War made a low voice. Alas! In a strange laughter, an old man in black with a thin face and a bit of evil breath appeared next to the God of War. The old man in black still had a black snake on his shoulders, his eyes were cold, and he was staring at the 3 main people of the Thunder Palace, who had no resistance in front. Go! The old man in black slightly pointed, and the black snake on his shoulder sprang out instantly. The speed was so much faster than the general ultimate master, this like a lightning bolt. The black snake instantly penetrated the heads of the Thunder Palace Master, Thunder Palace Elder, and Blood Thunder Army Master. and immediately swallowed the souls of the 3 men. After that, Black returned to the shoulder of the old man in black, but his eyes were still closed. After a while, the old man in black looked up again, but the weird smile on his face had disappeared. Oops, that guy really was killed by the people in this Thunder Palace. What? The look of the burly man bathed in gold light suddenly changed. How could it be? How could these people kill him by relying on the Thunder Palace? Under normal circumstances, it is impossible to kill. But what if the guy came to death on his own initiative? The old man in black murmured. And the other teams, under the leadership of the ultimate dominator, killed one by one, like the 8 first-class astrals in Geo's large star domain, and they were the first to bear the brunt. Disaster. This is a disaster for the entire Juyao starfield. And this disaster is completely devastated. Juyao starfield has almost no ability to resist. Many forces were annihilated directly, countless astral circles were forcibly crushed into dust, and billions of souls were also ruthlessly killed. And in that one killing team, there is a special team with less than 10 people. They are all composed of the ultimate dominator, but also a supreme strong, directly to the dust rain star world where Jian Wushuang is located. In the dust and stars, Jian Wushuang is still talking to Naba. Abba has completely told Jian Wushuang what he knows. After Jian Wushuang heard it, although he was still very puzzled, he also got some information. For example, he is master and has a wife. In addition, his master has a mission in Juyao starfield, and it has been completed. In the end, his master was in the Juyao starfield, and he was definitely just a clone. But just then, Jian Wushuang's expression suddenly moved, and he turned his hand, and a messenger appeared in his hand. It seems that the order of Supervisor Fei Xue of Jioding Pavilion is extremely anxious. What happened? Jian Wushuang was surprised, and looked into the content of the order. Bloodsword friends, there are a large number of mysterious powerhouses, including the supreme-level powerhouses, who have already killed in the Juyao starfield, and are now launching a killing ring in the Juyao starfield. The strongest forces have all been wiped out. The Earth star where my 9 Emperors Pavilion is located has also been wiped out. The 3 chief executives have killed too, and only I have escaped. If you are still in the Juyao Great Star domain, please run away. Unsurprisingly, the other party's purpose is to completely destroy the entire Juyao starfield. In the interrogation by the supervisor of Fei Xue, there was unprecedented panic. After receiving this rumor, Jian Wushuang also felt a little dazed for a while. Those strongest forces in the Juyao starfield, such as the Thunder God Palace and Fengshan Pavilion, have been destroyed. Even the Judian Pavilion branch has been destroyed, and the 3 chief executives have died too? Jian Wushuang knew this very well. What a shocking news. Just now in the tavern, the outer deacon of the Thunder Palace, Bai Yang, also received a message from the owner of the Thunder Palace. How long has it elapsed before the Thunder Palace has been destroyed? There is also Judy Pavilion, but that is the superpower in the universe, Super Overlord. Who is it? Even Judy Pavilion dare to move? He immediately understood that this face should be the supreme strongman hidden in the great star field of Juyao starfield, but an extremely old big starfield. There are many powerful people who have been born and supreme-level powerhouses. Juyao starfield has also been born, but most of these supremes left Juyao Great Starfield, went deep into the universe. As for the current Juyao starfield, whether there is a supreme, it has always been a secret. At least in the Juyao starfield, there have been dozens of chaos, and no supreme power has appeared. But now it seems that there is indeed a supreme in the Juyao Great Star domain. This supreme has always been hidden and never appeared. But now, Supreme has led a large number of strong men to kill in the star field of Juyao, apparently shocking the hidden supreme. I didn't expect to be able to meet the supreme in such a star field. And looking at this might, you are probably not weak in the supreme. The cold man smiled and looked at the huge person in front of him. Face but followed his words again. But unfortunately, we have already made a decision. The 9 starfields must be erased since you want a block. Then you will be together, kill it. Don't say anything. The huge face made a loud drink, and the next moment the face continued to zoom in. The horror mighty and mighty, crushed directly to the cold man. The cold man's expression also began to become dignified. After all, the opponent is also a supreme, and the strength is still not weak. This cold man naturally does not dare to care, and cannot be distracted to deal with the sword unparalleled. The blood sword, I'll give it to a few of you, the cold man whispered, and a shuttle in his hand appeared, and with his body looting, he had already killed the huge face. The next moment, the horrific bombardment, shocked the world, resounded madly in the cosmic void. The bleak man was clearly fighting head-on with the owner of the huge face. As for Jian Wushuang, he immediately seized this once-in-lifetime opportunity and fled wildly into the distance. Behind him, there are also chasing troops, which are the ultimate masters of the cold man. These ultimate masters, who were previously in the void around the dust and rain world, were responsible for blocking Jian Wushuang. Although the barefoot old man who blocked Jian Wushuang was directly killed by Jian Wushuang, but others are still alive and well, has now followed up. When the cold man battled the huge face, the ultimate masters went all out to hunt down Swordless. Now the sword is unparalleled, with less than 20% of the divine power remaining, the strength of which is sharply reduced, and a drop of venom worth 5,000 source stones. He also has only one drop, and naturally cannot compete with these ultimate masters. However, the good news is that it is better to be pursued by these ultimate masters than by the cold man. But it wasn't long before the group of people ransacked in the Jiao star field, and the strong man in the deep of the universe arrived, apparently using some cosmic channels that directly reached the Jiao star field. That channel once opened is costly. Supervisor Feishue, can you tell me, what forces in the depths of the universe have sent the strong over here? Jian Wushuang asked casually. It's not a secret. It's okay to tell you. Supervisor Feishue laughed. This time, there was a catastrophe in the Jiao starfield. A total of 5 forces were shocked in the depths of the universe. Among these 5 forces, 3 of them it's all because of His Majesty, some of which are related to Jiao starfield, and one of them is a special camp that contains a mission, and the last one is my Judy Pavilion. The reason why the strongest of my 9 Emperors' Court came is because the branch of my 9 Emperors' Court was also destroyed by those people. Jian Wushuang heard, nodded secretly. Bloodsword friends, now that the strong men in the depths of the universe have arrived, there will naturally be no more storms in these 9 starfields, and you do and need to rush away. You can come to my Judy Pavilion again if you have time. The status of the adults I sent to Judy Pavilion this time is extraordinary. If you come to Judy Pavilion, maybe I can help you to refer. Feishue main pipeline. Thank you in advance, Feishue. Jian Wushuang smiled slightly. He soon interrupted the conversation with Supervisor Blizzard, and at this moment, in a dark void in the most central area of Jiao starfield, the rumbling gathered terrible coercion, forming a huge storm. Within this storm, towering figures stood there arbitrarily. No matter how strong the storm was, they couldn't regret moving those figures at all. There were 6 people standing in the storm. All 6 are supreme. One of them, Yin Yanha, is the one who has been hiding in Jiao's star field. However, when the old man Yin Tongfa faced the other 5 people at the moment, he was obviously inferior. 5 people, that's all I know. As for the origin of those people, what their purpose is, I don't know. Tong Yanhifa, said the old man. The 5 people in the storm. After listening to the old man's narration, his brows frowned. You say among them, is there a top and supreme existence? A puppet man with eyes as sharp as an eagle opened his mouth, his voice with a sense of metal oppression. Yes, although he didn't really shoot, just glanced at me. But I can feel the pressure he gave me. The pressure is absolutely top level and extreme. Tong Yinha, said the old man. This is interesting. The man snarled and grinned. The top and supreme powerhouse. How much can the entire universe be? You can't recognize it. And when you see us rushing over, leave without saying a word. I wouldn't even say hello. It is said that a beautiful wife was found at the end of the new score. Who am I? It turned out to be the Supreme Heart. The man saw the person, but his look did not change at all. So coincident you are here too? Huh. I saw that you were acting weird, so I just kept up. I didn't expect to just run into this. The old man in the yellow robe looked at Jian Wushuang, but his eyes were a little displeased. This little guy, it's just the third-level dominator. Even if you let the Black Eagle you come all the way to yourself, it also allows you to lower your status. It seems that it should be a special life, and the level of life is not low. Supreme Heart, you know where I came from. Since I encountered a special life at a higher level on the way, I will naturally take a shot. Why should I kill a special life that dominates the level? You must also control the Joding Pavilion. The man's voice was a little cold. Slaying the Supreme Heart, named after the word killing heart. Its name is purely created by killing. His strength is absolutely the strongest among the Supremes, and he is infinitely close to the top. However, although the Supreme Heart is very strong, but also the Supreme, the background of this young man is not ordinary. Naturally, he will not be afraid of the other party. I didn't want to care about this. I just happened to see it. And remind you, by the way, more or less, you should pay attention to your own identity. Zixin Supreme said. Haha, thank you, Supreme Master, for reminding you. If nothing is wrong, you will leave. The man smiled. Suddenly, the supreme glance of the Supreme Heart was hesitated, and he hesitated. He decided not to hesitate and turned to leave. At this moment, can adults come from Judy Pavilion? Jian Wushuang suddenly spoke. Huh. Zixin Supreme turned to and glanced at Jian Wushuang. What about it? Wu Jian was so happy that he said, My lord, my name is Bloodsword, and my name is on the list of 9 emperors. The list of 9 emperors? The smile on the man's face was abruptly stiff, and his heart screamed badly. Are you a genius on the list of 9 emperors? He looked at Jian Wushuang in surprise. Yes, I put my name on the Jiodian list more than 100,000 years ago, and this time Juyao Starfield was in dire straits. It was still one of the directors of Juyag in this Juyao Starfield. Send me a message, and let me flee so that I can survive. Just now I also exchanged information with Supervisor Feishue. Supervisor Feishue said that this time the Emperor Jiodi sent a very extraordinary supreme strongman. If there is an opportunity, he will also refer me. If the adult does not believe it, he can now call and ask Supervisor Feishue. Jian Wushuanglian said. Chapter 4095. The first is more. Supervisor Blizzard? The heart-struck look moved. I came to this star field, but a supervisor did contact me, but I don't know the name I asked. Slaying Heart Supreme immediately took out a summoning order and began to ask. The man next to him was a little gloomy. After a few moments, the Supreme Heart inquiry was over. Are you a blood sword? Stark Sword stared at the sword unparalleled in the heart of Supreme Heart. He just asked the Blizzard supervisor about everything about Jian Wushuang and got the answers he wanted. The third level dominates, but the combat power is comparable to the ultimate dominate? At the level of the master of the rules, you will realize a trace of the law of the universe, which belongs to a super genius rarely seen in billions of stars. Even if the Supreme Heart Killer learned the information of Jian Wushuang, he couldn't help raising his heart and wondering. The next moment, a decision had been made in the heart. Black Eagle, you can leave. Supreme Heartbeat said casually. What did you say? The man frowned. Extremely heartbreaking. What do you mean by that? Don't understand. I said you can leave. The heart-beating Supreme smiled slightly. This little guy named Bloodsword is a genius on the 9 Emperors list, and it is also valued by my senior members of the 9 Emperor Pavilion. I won't let you kill him. Heart killing. The man's voice was cold, and his face was still a little angry. But this anger was quickly suppressed by him. I saw the man's expression calm down again and chuckled. Extreme heart killing. Even if this little guy is on the list of the 9 emperors, he has nothing to do with you. Why don't you sell me a face? So as long as you leave now, I am willing to give 3 Tianqi God fruits. How? The man is really eager to kill Jian Wushuang. After all, killing a perfect life means a lot to him, and he will get more. 3 copies of Tianqi God fruit? Brow the Supreme frown. Black Eagle, you're really willing. I really have a little movement. Heart killing, think about it. If you keep him now, what will you get? Even if the highest level of Judy Pavilion knows this, at most it will praise you. But these 3 Tianqi God fruits, even if it is you, it is not easy to get it, right? The man continued to seduce. Suddenly, the beating heart is a smile that looks like a smile hesitating. He was next to the void. Jian Wushuang was very anxious inside, but he didn't dare to speak. He was very clear that his current life and death were tied to this supreme thought. Black Hawk, you are indeed willing enough, but unfortunately, you still want to be disappointed. Supreme heartbeat. The smile on the uncle's face suddenly froze. He even said, heart killing. Do you really not give me face at all? Joke, how much is your face worth? Supreme heart is dismissive. I can only tell you that you are looking for the wrong person. If you exchange for some of my other supreme kings, it may still be possible I will sell you a face because of the 3 Tianqi God fruits. But unfortunately you met me. But I sincerely worked for the Judy Pavilion. But I didn't have much selfishness. Considerable. Even if he is not valued, as long as he is on the list of the 9 emperors, then I will not let you kill him under my eyes. You should have heard me clearly. I won't say it again. Black Hawk, leave. Heart killing. The man finally rose up with complete anger. And his body also had a violent killing intention rising. Why, you still want to make it with me? Supreme Heartbreaker smiled coldly. I don't look down on you. Even if you are 2 or 3 levels of supreme, even if you come with 2 or 3 at the same time, it's not enough to see me. If you don't get out, I will teach you. No, he killed you, not to get your blood, to improve his level of life. He killed you because of the faction. Faction? Jian Wu's eyes narrowed. Little guy, you haven't been in the universe for a long time. I'm afraid I haven't heard of Diwu Temple yet. He asked with a smile. Diwu Temple? Jian Wushuang was surprised. Diwu Shrine, he has heard of it. At the beginning of the deity, in the early days of the demon battle with the demon star, the demon star had brought out that special spear. And at the time the demon star said that the spear came from Diwu Temple, the Black Eagle Supreme, who just wanted to kill him, also took out the same spear. Looking at you, have you heard of Diwu Temple? The heart-threatening glanced at Jian Wushuang, followed with a smile. Diwu Temple is the top force in the deep side of the universe. To be precise, it is a station. At the highest level of a loose alliance, the significance of this alliance exists to kill special lives. And no one knows why this is so. There are many strong men in His Majesty's temple. These strong men don't need to obey the dispatch of Diwu Temple. They just see special life. And by the way, they kill and kill a special life. According to the life level of that special life, and its strength, you can be rewarded accordingly. Like that Black Eagle Supreme just about to kill you. The special spear that he took out was the unique star-spearing spear unique to Diwu Temple. This star-spearing spear has great potential for special life, the restraint effect. As long as it is a person in Diwu Temple, there will be a handle. And at the beginning the level of the star spear is low. But as you kill more and more special life, the level of the star spear will also increase. The higher the power, the more powerful it will be. As long as it is a special life that was killed with an annihilation spear, there will be records on this annihilation spear. Afterwards, you can take this spear directly to the Diwu Temple to receive the reward. The Black Eagle Supreme just now is part of the Diwu Temple. He wants to kill you, naturally, to improve the power level of the star spear. On the other hand, if he kills you, he can also find the Diwu Temple for a sum of money, vulgar reward, which is why he is willing to take out 3 Tianqi God fruits and ask me to leave. Wu Jianso understood immediately. The Black Eagle supremely could kill him directly from the beginning, but he did not kill him in the first place, but gave him a breath, and took out the spear the second time, ready to use the spear kill him. I used to kill him only with that spear, so that the Black Eagle Supreme could get what he wanted. I guess that the first shot of the Black Eagle Supreme was just to judge his level of life. The second time was to really kill him. Unfortunately, when the second shot was made, the supreme heartbeat had arrived. I still owe the next update. If all the strong men in the Diwu temple have this kind of treasure that has a great sense of special life, isn't that there will always be a strong person coming to the door this time? This time is a supreme, but in the depths of the universe, there may be a group of supremes, or even top supremes. He even said that he would kill a perfect life. The reward of Diwu temple is very generous, enough to make any supreme be impressed. It is also reasonable for the top supreme to kill him for the reward of Diwu temple. You guys, you don't have to worry too much. Diwu shrine is very strong. Your majesty is indeed a lot, and the power is spread all over the universe. However, Diwu shrine as strong can't be killed in the universe. Those special lives, they also have a lot of restraints. Supreme Heartbeat began to explain with a smile. First of all, those special lives have huge innate advantages. Anyone who grows up and dares to roam in the depths of the universe has good strength, especially for many special lives. The means of life-saving are even worse. Even if the Supreme Personality, I dare not say that I have the absolute confidence to kill him. Second, those special lives are not stupid. They know that they are weak alone. So when they are roaming deep in the universe, they will also find a good backer, such as joining one of the top forces, or attaching to a strong one. His Majesty, the strong man of His Majesty Diwu Shrine, would not dare to provoke it easily. After all, the Diwu temple is just a loose alliance, and it is impossible to fully concentrate the power. Those strong men under the Diwu temple, they dare not easily provoke some big forces in the depths of the universe. Just like today, to kill your Black Hawk is supreme. This Black Eagle supreme is true. He dares to kill you. Also because you are only a strong individual, without any background power behind you. The only one is just ranked as the 9 Emperor. It can only be listed in the 9 Emperors list. It can only be regarded as my friend of the 9 Emperors list. In the final analysis, it is not the core power of my 9 Emperors list. His Majesty's core strongman. Then I dare to pack tickets and give this Black Hawk Supreme 2 courage. He will not dare to kill you. Wu Jianwushwang heard, and his heart was quite shaken. Yes, His Majesty the Great King of Diwu, in the end, is also an individual. They dare not provoke those great forces deep in the universe. Jian Wushuang nodded secretly. In addition to the above 2 points, there is the most important point. Those special beings also know how to unite together. In the depths of the universe, there is an extremely powerful top force, the Temple of Life. Suddenly, the voice of the Supreme Heart was solemn. The Temple of Life, which contains all the special life in the universe, is the belonging of all the special life in the vast universe. And the Temple of Life and the Diwu Temple are old enemies, and have been fighting endlessly for years. Chapter 4099. 3 more arrived today. The Temple of Life. Jian Wushuang was shocked inside. He is a member of the Life Divine Palace. A long time ago, in the Blood World, under the guidance of the owner of the Blood World, he joined the Life Temple, and also cultivated the life magic. And now he came to the universe. This life shrine is also a big part of him. The Temple of Life. Can you compete with the Diwu Temple Chamber? Jian Wushuang looked to the heart-struck Supreme. On the bright side, it is okay. Nodding Supreme nodded. Of course, in terms of overall strength, Diwu Temple is better. But Diwu Temple is extremely loose. His Majesty the Strong are not united, and most of them join Diwu Temple. Most of them it's just to get the reward from Diwu Temple. As for those who really serve Diwu Temple, there are very few. But the Life Shrine is a lot of special lives. For the sake of their own safety, and their own interests, the strength of the Life Shrine is closely related to them. The overall integrity is naturally stronger. You guys, you are the perfect life. The Temple of Life should hope that you can integrate them. When you reach the depths of the universe, you can find opportunities or channels to connect with the miracle of life. The strong come to pick you up. The strong one with the Temple of Life picks you up. And you don't have to worry about being caught up by the strong in Diwu Temple, in the depths of the universe. Oh, Jian Wushuang appeared in doubt. Haha, it's actually very simple. Diwu Shrine is very good at making special treasures that can sense the existence of special life. However, the Life Shrine also has the Sky Strong, creating some special ones that can hide its own life level. Feynman, if you are in the Temple of Life, you can practice those methods. As long as you practice, you ca and t be sure that no strong person from Diwu Temple will find you. But in the future, even if you have the kind behind him, Ibao, but also must be extremely close to you, in order to barely sense where you are. So it is. Jian Wushuang's eyes lit up. He was just worried that his perfect level of life would be too conspicuous when he entered the depths of the universe, bringing endless trouble to him. But now it seems that there is a solution in the Palace of Life. In my hand, I have the messenger that the owner of the Bloodwave world left to me. He told me that when I go into the depths of the universe, I can use this messenger to send him a message, and he will come to pick him up. Jian Wushuang clenched his hands tightly. Am still at the edge of the universe. When I get to the depths of the universe, or near the depths of the universe, I will send a message directly to him. Deep in the universe, it is too dangerous, especially because he is the perfect life. When there is not enough strength to gain a foothold in the depths of the universe, choosing to enter the Temple of Life to settle down is definitely the best choice. Little guy, you should be ready to go to the depths of the universe? Yes. Jian Wushuang nodded. Although the star field is not in the depths of the universe, it is relatively close. From here to the depths of the universe, to the first kingdom of God in the depths of the universe, if you take a general-level cosmic boat, it is estimated that only 10,000 years remain. Time is up. Are you going to go to the depths of the universe by yourself? Right? Supreme Heartbeat asked. I thought so before, but now. Jian Wushuang frowned. Are you worried about that Black Hawk? Said Supreme Heart with great interest. Yes. Jian Wushuang nodded. Kill you, Lord, and kill me. The Black Eagle Supreme will receive a huge reward. This time, because of your relationship with the adult, he can't do it, but I'm sure he will never. I will stop there. I even estimate that he is not far away now, and may be hiding in the nearby void. Chapter 4100. One more today. Juyao Great Star Field. As an extremely ancient large star field, originally had a large number of astral circles, even a lot of first-level astral circles, second and third-level astral circles are even more. However, after the previous disaster, nearly 90% of the astral circles in the Juyao Great Star domain have collapsed and annihilated, and only a small part of the astral circles with good luck have not been destroyed and have been preserved. At this moment, it was in the second-order astral space that luckily survived, the Muling astral space. ABA girl, from today on, you will stay in the Muling astral realm. I have already said hello to the major forces in the Muling astral realm, and they will ensure your safety. Jian Wushuangdo. Well, thank you. Abba nodded slightly. Ababan was born of a slave. He has always been very humble. Only when he met Xian Yi did his life begin to change. As far as Abba herself is concerned, she has no extravagant desires. As long as she is able to live in peace, she is very content. Jian Wushuang's placement on her naturally satisfied her. Magic flame. Jian Wushuang looked again at the guardian magic flame that had been following him. Master. Moyan looked over immediately. You have been with me for some time. Over the years, you have also helped me a lot. And I said before that as long as you do my part, I will return you freedom. And now, I fulfill my promise. Jian Wushuangdo. What? Mo Yin stared. He was taken aback by this sudden surprise. Yes, Jian Wushuang once said that as long as he is honest, he can give him freedom in the future. Kumoyan was very clear. Jian Wushuang said this at that time, to a large extent just to appease him. Mo Yin didn't even think about it. In recent years, he has been with Jian Wushuang, and he is indeed very calm and honest. There is no way. His life is in the grasp of Jian Wushuang. Of course, if he was forced to surrender to Jian Wushuang at the beginning, and he is still unwilling, he can gradually improve with Jian Wushuang's strength, especially the potential of Jian Wushuang's talents. In the star domain, the third is the ultimate of the enemy. These magic flames are all in the eyes. So terrible, they are incredible super geniuses, which convinced the magic flames long ago. He has long been unwilling, and now he is willing to follow Jian Wushuang, And Jian Wushuang is also very kind. He will restore his deity as soon as he has a chance. By now his body has been restored. However, even though the master of the sword Wushuang was very good to him, he was not free after all. And now, without any warning, Jian Wushuang wants to set him free? Master, are you serious? Moyan was a little incredible. Of course. Jian Wushuang smiled. But before you are free, you must make an oath to the laws of the universe. You must not reveal to me any information about me and my hometown, Taichu divinity. This point you may do it. Of course you can, I swear now. Mo Yan immediately swears to the law of the universe. And Jian Wushuang also fulfilled his promise and directly eliminated the imprint in the source of the soul of the magic flame. Without the soul imprint, the magic flame was free of restraint and freedom was naturally restored. Finally restored, Mo Yan clenched his eyes, his face exulting, but then he looked up and looked at Jian Wushuang. But his eyes became complicated. Master, I have lifted my control from you. From today on, I do indeed need to call my master again. Jian Wushuang smiled slightly. Yes, your body has only recovered 50% now, and your strength is still a bit far from your peak. Long distances, and you do indeed have any resources in your hands, so. Jian Wushuang turned his hand, and a Qingquan ring appeared in his hand. In this Qingquan ring, there are 5,000 source stones. You take it. After all, the talented genius who can be recognized by Jyoti Pavilion is generally not too low. In the future, there is a complete opportunity to shock the Supreme, and it may even reach the ranks of the Supreme. At that time, this human relationship will be precious. Okay, don't talk about this little guy, how about checking it all? Waving the Supreme Heart waved. What can you do? No clue whatsoever. One of them shook his hand supremely. Everything that can be checked has been checked, but unfortunately those people are operating too fast, and they have destroyed all traces, and we can't find any reason. The tall Supreme also said. Suddenly, erase all traces. This is the style of those people's behavior. A man with long purple hair shook his head and sighed supremely. These Supremes have indeed used all that can be used, but unfortunately more than 90% of the astral circles in the Juyao starfield have been annihilated, especially those major astral fields. And the rest are only a few astral fields in the marginal zone. It doesn't matter at all. They tried to trace as much as possible, but could not find out the reasons for those people to do anything. Of course, they actually found the reward offered by Thunder Palace more than 100,000 years ago. But it was such a reward. They didn't even think of it. After all, the reward offered by Thunder Palace was only a first prize. The third series dominates. I didn't care about the reward, and naturally they tracked down and found nothing. If you can't find it, let's stop here. As for the next thing, let the people below take care of it. I'll go back first. The tall Supreme said after that. His body moved, and he had already left. You goodbye. Several other Supremes have also left. Little guy, let's go. Slaying Heart Supreme with a sword unparalleled, he also left. But in the heart of the beating Supreme, and Jian Wushuang just left, the Black Eagle Supreme followed. The vast and undoubted dark universe is empty, and a silver cosmic boat is traveling slowly. The reason why it is called slowly is because the speed of this spacecraft is really not fast, and it is not even as fast as that of Jian Wushuang's previous spacecraft. However, we must know that the spaceship that Supreme Hearts took out is comparable. The sword is unparalleled, and it must be faster. But now the cosmic boat is moving slowly like this. Haha, I guess that's right. The Black Eagle is really immortal. I said that he would take you to the depths of the universe in person, and he even followed. The heartbreaking laughed. Here comes the Black Hawk Supreme. Jian Wushuang stunned inside. He knows that Heartbeat Supreme deliberately slowed down the speed of the cosmic boat in order to investigate the movement of the Black Hawk Supreme. Now it seems that the Black Hawk Supreme has really caught up. It seems to me that the Black Hawk is really not completely dead. Chapter 4102. Two more arrived today. Since he is going to follow, let him follow. Anyway, by borrowing his two guts, he didn't dare to take any shots. And even he didn't have the courage to ask the strong to deal with me. The heartbreaking Supreme disdained the Blackhawk Supreme. After knowing the movement of the Supreme Blackhawk, contentment accelerated directly. At that moment, the original cosmic boat suddenly burst out dozens of times, hundreds of times, and instantly penetrated the void of the universe and traversed distant distances. So fast. Jian Wushuang was startled. Too fast. The speed of this spacecraft is indeed too fast. It is dozens of times and hundreds of times faster than the spacecraft he used to ride before. I took the cosmic boat all the way from the beginning of the divine realm to the Juyao starfield, and it took more than 100,000 years. However, if I replaced this cosmic boat with the heartbeat, it would be several times faster. Hundreds of times. I'm afraid it will take only 1,000 years to arrive. The Supreme Heartbeat laughed. In the universe, many times, you cannot use the cosmic passage. First, the cosmic passage is not available in every place, and it is not directly accessible in every place. Second, it was the cosmic passage that cost too much. Like this time, I rushed to the Juyao star field from the depths of the universe, mainly because the Juyao star field suffered a great crisis. It was too urgent to reach the Juyao star directly through the cosmic channel regardless of cost, domain, but now returning to the depths of the universe from the Juyao Great Star domain, I can't use the cosmic channel directly like that extravagantly. Jian Wushuang also understood. In the vast universe, it is not easy to build a cosmic channel. Especially the deeper the universe, the more stable the cosmic void is. The cosmic channel is more laborious to build, and the cost of the cosmic channel is also greater. Because of this, even the supreme strong person will not easily rely on the cosmic passage to reach all corners of the universe directly, unless something is urgent. Instead of relying on the cosmic channel, you can only rush through the cosmic void by yourself. A high-level cosmic boat is necessary for every strong person. After all, there is a high-level cosmic boat that moves very fast in the cosmic void. The spacecraft can save you a lot of time. Supreme Heart Indifference said, I am a spacecraft that I bought a long time ago at a special auction and spent nearly 1 million universe source rocks just to be able to hurry in the void of the universe. Of course, my spacecraft itself is very strong in body protection. If there is a crisis, I can hide in this spacecraft directly. Even if it is top level, I can't help me in a short time. You can just wait in the spacecraft to wait for the arrival of the strong man in the Judy Pavilion. Little guy, if you want to go deep in the universe in the future, if you have the opportunity, you can also find a way to get a spacecraft that can take care of life. Jian Wushuang heard it, but was secretly shocked. It took no less than 1 million universe source rocks to buy this cosmic boat. No wonder the speed will be so fast. And this cosmic boat also has the ability to take care of body. Even the top extreme cannot do anything in a short time, and really take it seriously. And Jian Wushuang couldn't help but think of his own spaceship that had been crushed. His own spacecraft was indeed too shabby, and was not as valuable as an inferior rule. After reaching the depths of the universe, he had the opportunity, but he could indeed find a way to build a stronger spacecraft, although it is not at least not too bad compared to the heart-struck spacecraft. The Black Eagle's cosmic boat is not as high level as mine, and it's not as fast as my cosmic boat. He wants to keep up, but it's not so easy. The heartbeat laughed lightly. The silver cosmic boat hurried through the void of the universe. Originally at the speed of the sword unparalleled, it took tens of thousands of years to reach the depths of the universe. It only took hundreds of years to follow the supreme heartbeat and arrived. Now, Jian Wushuang has come to the first kingdom of God in the depths of the universe. This kingdom of God is called the Kingdom of Ice and Snow. In the depths of the universe, there are still many large star fields, countless, and there are many powerful people in these large star fields. But compared to them, there are more powerful people and more concentrated ones. Kingdom of God, like the Kingdom of Ice and Snow, it was created by a super strong ice and snow emperor in the universe hundreds of thousands of years ago. The real super genius, although he did not change a little understanding of the universe at the level of rule master. But his progress rate is not slower than those super geniuses rare in the billions of stars. Only less than 1,000 since he broke through the in 10,000 years. He will break through to become the supreme. And if he breaks through, his combat power will be infinitely close to that of the supreme. After he broke through the 2 Chaos era, his combat power reached the level of the Supreme. Later, he became a leading figure in the Supreme, and even almost rivaled the cosmic hegemony. Unfortunately, he died after an accident. Slaying Heart sighed. Dead. Jian Wushuang stunned. This ice and snow emperor is already dead. So why is his kingdom of God still so prosperous? Jian Wushuang is in the country of frost and snow. All the way through, the kingdom of frost and snow is extremely prosperous, and the strong are countless. Haha, little guy, you have misunderstood one thing. The kingdom of God really needs the Supreme to be qualified to open it, but it does not mean that the supreme kingdom he died will die, or even collapse. After all, after the development of a kingdom of God, a large number of practitioners will be absorbed. After these practitioners often grow up over a long period of time, there are also many strong men born, and some of the top powerful men born in the kingdom of God may even hope to surpass the pioneering God, the top of the country. And this kingdom of ice and snow can prosper for a long time when the ice and snow emperor is there. Although the ice and snow emperor died later, but most of the strong men and women of the kingdom of ice and snow did not die. These, when the strong are united, they can naturally keep a kingdom of God from decaying. In the depths of the universe, there are thousands of kingdoms of gods. There are thousands of gods who can open up these kingdoms, but not all of them are still alive. There are a lot of them who have already died. Laughed. Is that so? Sword unparalleled. Little guy, don't you have a messenger of the supreme palace of life? Now that you have reached the depths of the universe, you can summon it to him and ask him to come and lead you. Zixin Supreme said. Jian Wushuang nodded, even when he took out the Bloodwave summons. 3 heads. Chapter 4103. The first is more. Predecessor Xuebua. Jian Wushuang soon got in touch with Xuebua. The Shrine of Life should have a cosmic passage directly to the Kingdom of Ice and Snow. We are waiting here for a while. And the strong man that the Shrine of Life has taken over for you should be there. Supreme Heart Road said. Swordsman and Soul Master are waiting quietly in this Frost God's country. However, more than 10 days later, a handsome middle-aged man in a black robe appeared in front of Jian Wushuang and the Supreme King. Haha, Jian Wushuang, you can be counted in the depths of the universe. The middle age of Hypo Junlong immediately gave out a hearty laugh when he saw Jian Wushuang. Are you a senior of Bloodwave? Jian Wushuang looked at the person. The unique and trembling breath was naturally the respect of the master, and being able to call his name directly should be the Bloodwave himself. However, at the beginning of the blood world in the early days, although Jian Wushuang had met the blood consciousness, at that time, the blood waves in the state of consciousness were just a dark silhouette, and Jian Wushuang did not see the other person at all. Appearance. So now seeing, Jian Wushuang will try to ask like this. Haha, who else besides me? Hypo Junlong smiled middle-aged, and he naturally noticed the existence of the Supreme Heart Beater next to him. The Supreme Heart Beater of the 9 Emperor Pavilion? Why are you here? Supreme Blood. I didn't expect that you, the Chief Supreme of the Temple of Life, would come here to pick up this little one in person? Suffering from the Supreme Heart was in shock. Extreme Chief? Is it strong? Jian Wushuang asked. Nonsense, although there are a lot of Supreme Masters of Life, but there are only 5 Chief Supremes, and they can serve as Chief Supremes. Those are top Supremes. Do you say strong or not? The heart beats the sword and gave Wushuang a glance. Top Supreme. Jian Wushuang was startled. When he first came into contact with the blood consciousness in the early world of the gods, he also heard that blood was said that he was the Chief Supreme of the Palace of Life, but at that time he had no concept of the identity of the Chief Supreme, and thought that the blood was just an ordinary Supreme. I didn't expect that this blood wave would be the top extreme, top Supreme, that can open up a great kingdom of God alone, like the owner of this kingdom of ice and snow. and the ancestors of the original red cloud, are top supreme. And the blood wave comes from the life shrine. That is to say, he is also a special life, and has the inherent advantage of special life. In terms of strength, I am afraid that it is also the strongest among the top. Heart killing. How could you be with this little guy with my magical power in life? Bloodwave Supreme asked casually. This little guy is not only a member of your Shrine of Life, but he is also on the list of 9 emperors. He is a guest of my 9 emperors pavilion. Previously, a large star field was devastated by the mysterious Strong. When I went there, I met this little guy, and just saw the person in the Diwu temple. He was chasing after this little guy, and I rescued him, and brought him into the depths of the universe. Is that so? Bloodwave Supreme frowned and smiled. Heart-killing. Thank you for taking care of this little fellow. This kind of friendship will be remembered by the shrine of my life. If the fruit tree of life comes to fruition 30 million years later, if you come out at a sufficient price, I will find a way to save one for you. God fruit. The heart-beating Supreme shook his body, showing ecstasy. Extreme blood, are you serious? Of course, but only if you can afford it enough, said Bloodwave Supreme. Okay, then I wrote it down. For these 30 million years, I will do everything I can to make up for it at a sufficient price, Supreme. Thank you very much. Supreme heart grateful. You can save this little guy from Diwu Temple, and you can be regarded as a friend of my life shrine. My life shrine is not a friend to friends, said Xinghua Supreme laughed. The heart-beating Supreme is still very surprised. He glanced at Jian Wushuang and smiled. Little guy, since the Supreme Master of Bloodwave has come to meet you in person, then I don't need to you anymore. I will go first. When you get stronger in the future, don't forget what you said before. After the heart-beating Supreme said, his body flew away immediately. After the heartbeat Supreme, Jian Wushuang, what did you say to this heartbreaking Supreme? Shuebwa Supreme asked. It's nothing, but this time the Supreme heartbeat really saved my life at the crisis. This is a kind of human friendship. I said that if I grow up in the future, I will have the opportunity to pay him back. Jian Wushuangdo. It's nothing but a human relationship. Bloodwave Supreme smiled slightly. By the predecessors of Bloodwave, what is the fruit of life that you just mentioned to Supreme Heart? Why is Supreme Heart so surprised when you hear it? Jian Wushuang asked in confusion. He could see that Heartbeat Supreme was just pleasantly surprised. It is just a fruit, and it is not given to him free of charge, but it is also necessary for him to pay enough. Is it such a surprise? Haha, it's normal to have a heartbreaking surprise. The of life is unique to my palace of life. Even in the vast universe and countless geniuses, it is enough to rank among the top 5 super treasures. Let's put it this way. Taking out a of life fruit is enough to cause a large number of Supremes to go crazy. Even the top Supreme will kill him crazy. And this killing heart itself has risen from the killings. Although it is not the top Supreme, but it is very close to the top Supreme. Once you get the fruit of this life, he can not only easily reach the top extreme level, at the same time, he can also get a lot of unexpected benefits. In short, this fruit is absolutely supreme to kill the heart. It can definitely make them at all costs. Bloodwave Supreme laughed. This precious. Jian Wushuang stared. He doesn't know what the so-called unexpected benefits are, but he can imagine how incredible the treasure of life is simply that he can easily break the heart to the top level. Such a precious treasure just because the heart beats the Supreme to save his life. The blood wave promised to leave it one. Predecessor Xiebua, the fruit of life. Jian Wushuang just wanted to speak, but was immediately interrupted by Xiebua waving his hand. I know what you want to say, rest assured. The reason why I promised to leave him a fruit is not only because he saved your life, but there are more important reasons. These reasons you am not qualified to know now, and you will know when you become supreme. That's good. Jian Wushuang relaxed. If it is purely due to his own reasons, that Shuebua will bring out such a precious fruit of life, Jian Wushuang will be unhappy. Chapter 4104. The first is more. This killing heart is not mentioned, but the black eagle who wanted to kill you in Juyao Starfield before hum. This black eagle itself is a strong man under the influence of a large force in the depths of the universe, but he later joined the Diwu Shrine, and have been hostile to my life shrine for many years. I have shot many times against the strong man in my life shrine. With this time, I can remember this sum of hatred. The shrine of life has been looking for a chance to kill him, and has already begun to prepare. Wait. It will not be long before this Black Hawk Supreme will die. The blood wave sounds cold, and his eyes are also entrained astonishing killing intention. If the blood wave, Jian Wushuang secretly shocked. Obviously, not only the strong men in Diwu Temple have been looking for opportunities to kill special lives, but the strong men in Life Shrine are also looking for opportunities to kill the strong men in Diwu Temple. As Supreme Killing Heart said, the two sides of Diwu Shrine and the Palace of Life have long been in the same position, and the killing and grievances caused by each other cannot be resolved anymore. Unless one day is completely in the universe it disappeared, and this grudge ended here. But that day, I don't know how long to wait. Yes, Senior Shuebwa. This time I will go to the Temple of Life, and my wife will be with me. Jian Wushuang waved his hand, and the coldness that had been in the independent space of Zhenshenbai appeared in the void next to the weak. Shuang, or let me introduce you. This is the Bloodwave Senior I mentioned to you before. Cold as frost, I have seen the seniors. Lung Rushuang respectfully saluted. This is your wife. Shuebo looked frosty but frowned. What's wrong? It doesn't seem like your wife feels normal, but she is obviously not a special life. Predecessor Shuebwa, my wife is indeed not a special life, but she is also different from ordinary practitioners. Jian Wushuang smiled. It is true that my wife was sleeping in the soul for a long time before, but then I was a coincidence. She got a heart of the astral world and absorbed it, and she woke up. That's it. No wonder it gave me such a strange feeling. It turned out to have absorbed the astral heart. Siebo laughed. The astral heart is very rare. Your wife has absorbed an astral heart. Then her future achievements are not expected to be too low. Let's go back to the Temple of Life with me. Shuebo waved his hand. Jian Wushuang nodded his head, and left with the cold as frost, followed by the blood. Under the guidance of blood waves, Jian Wushuang came to a cosmic passage in the Frost God's country shortly after. Master. A master responsible for guarding the cosmic passage clearly knew the identity of Shuebwa. After seeing the arrival of Shuebwa, he immediately greeted him with great respect. Go open the cosmic passage, Bloodwave ordered. Yes. The master immediately opened the cosmic passage. Cosmic channel. Jian Wushuang looked at the huge and cosmic channel ahead. However, he knew that in the depths of the universe, opening the cosmic channel, even if it was only a short distance transmission, would have to pay a very high price. Predecessor Bloodwave, this cosmic passage can directly lead to the Temple of Life? Jian Wushuang asked. It's not that simple. Siebo smiled and said, in the depths of the universe, except for the kingdom of God controlled by His Majesty's Palace of Life, there is no place that can directly lead to the Temple of Life. We are now writing here the cosmic passage can only reach the kingdom of God controlled by the Temple of Life. Once there, transfer to another universe passage to reach the Temple of Life. Is that so? Sword unparalleled. What we are going to now is His Majesty's Palace of Life, which is in control of many kingdoms of God. The Twilight Kingdom, that is closest to this kingdom of ice and snow. This Twilight Kingdom is only 4 kingdoms away from this kingdom of ice and snow. Convenient. Bloodwave said. Is there only 4 kingdoms separated? Jian Wushuang did not know how big a kingdom of God was, and naturally he could not tell how far it was to separate the 4 kingdoms of God. The blood wave continued to laugh. Although there are only 4 kingdoms separated, it is relatively close. You can directly reach there by the cosmic passage, but the cost of the cosmic passage still requires 100,000 cosmic source stones. What? Jian Wushuang was startled. Just separated by 4 kingdoms of God. It seems that the blood waves are relatively close, but the transmission cost of the universe channel still needs 100,000 universe source stones? 100,000 source rocks of the universe. Most of the ultimate dominators have lost their homes, and they can't get so many source rocks. Only some of the ultimate dominators, which are extremely horrible, can bring out so many source rocks. But this is just the cost of a close-range cosmic transmission. Looking at the appearance of blood waves, it seems that they do not care at all. Extreme strong, it seems to be richer than imagined, and top supreme is even higher. And their wealth is probably even more amazing. Jian Wushuang secretly said, hundreds of thousands of cosmic source stones. This blood wave apparently did not blink. And the former Xiao Xiao from the god's palace just gave him some appreciation, and gave him the purple blood secret, which was worth millions of cosmic source stones. At that time, the sword was unparalleled. Now it seems that the so-called 100,000 and millions of cosmic source rocks are indeed a large amount to their masters. Nothing at all. The ultimate wealth is not what he can imagine. As if seeing the ideas in Jian Wushuang's mind, the blood wave smiled lightly and said, 100,000 source stones of the universe may be a wealth for the weaker supremes, but some of the supremes are strong. Or for the supreme, you can ignore it, little guy, you are still too weak, and you haven't really touched the highest level of the universe. When you break through the supreme one day, and set foot in the peak of the universe, you will know, the source of the universe, no matter how many, it is just a number. For many powerful supreme, top supreme, and invincible supremacy, that has already become a hegemon of a party, yuanshur is useless at all. Many times these powerful supreme are traded, using the special resources in the universe. Treasure. Like Tianqi god fruit, mixed yuan god fruit. These are extremely rare treasures in the universe, and they are of great use to the supreme strong, as well as the god fruit of life I mentioned before. Just one is enough to make countless. The supreme is crazy. Even the top supreme will break his mind. These are truly valuable treasures that cannot be measured by the source stone. Chapter 4105. Two more arrived today. After listening to the words of the blood, Jian Wushuang also immediately knew, like the Black Hawk Supreme who wanted to kill him, and was blocked by the Heart Killer. The Black Hawk said that he would take out 3 copies of the Tianqi fruit, and leave the Heart Killer. However, Taivi did not mention the Source Stone of the universe. From this point of view, the Source Stone of the universe can only be used for trading in the Dominion, and some weaker supremacy. But those truly powerful supreme, all used for trading, are all kinds of special treasures. My lord, the cosmic passage has been opened. The master guarding the cosmic passage came to the blood. Well, Shuebo nodded, glanced at Jian Wushuang. Let's go. Immediately, Shuebo took Jian Wushuang and his wife into the cosmic passage directly. With a flash of light, the 3 swordsmen Wuxian have reached the kingdom of God controlled by the palace of life, Mutian God. After arriving at the kingdom of twilight, Bloodwave immediately arranged a second cosmic teleportation, and this time the destination was the Temple of Life. After 2 consecutive teleports in the universe, Jian Wushuang finally reached the Temple of Life. Here is a lush, mountainous and jungle world, and the mountains and trees in this world are generally very tall. When Jian Wushuang came to this heaven and earth, in his eyes there was a huge mountain with a height of tens of thousands of meters, so that he could not see the edge. So big. Looking at the mountain in front, Jian Wushuang couldn't help but be shocked. This is not a mountain range composed of mountains, but just a mountain. But the area is so large, I am afraid that it covers tens of thousands of miles. Coupled with the height of tens of thousands of feet, such a mountain is simply a giant. Jian Wushuang has been practicing for hundreds of thousands of years, and he has also come to the universe. But this is the first time he has seen such a huge mountain. Extreme blood, who is this little guy around you? His level of life seems to be very high. A simple gong-like voice suddenly sounded. Who is it? Jian Wushuang was startled. He immediately looked around, and the power of the soul spread. But as a result, there was no sense of existence around him. He didn't even know who made the sound. The blood on the side had a weird smile on his face. Yenshan, this little guy has just been introduced to the palace of my life. Don't scare this little guy. And fight him well. Hello. Okay. A gong-like voice sounded again. And the next moment, Wushuang Jian found the amazing mountain in front of him that was quite tens of thousands of feet tall. It just trembled directly, and immediately on the mountain wall of that mountain, there was a vaguely human face condensing. Hello guy, my name is Yinshan. You can call me Lord Yinshan, or call me Supreme Yinshan, said the fuzzy face on the mountain wall. You are you? This mountain? Jian Wushuang stared. The frost was cold and shocked. But soon Jian Wushuang knew it. Yes, the Temple of Life is the base of special life, and the vast universe is full of various special lives. In these special lives, there will be life formed by trees, mountains, and even rivers. Jian Wushuang revisited to the giant mountain in front of me. The mood has gradually calmed down. Jian Wushuang, I have seen Yinshan Supreme. Haha little guy, you are very good. It calmed down so quickly. Many of them came to the Lord of Life shrine for the first time. When they saw me, they were shocked for a long time. Yinshan Supreme continued to issue that gong-like sound. Well, Yinshan, continue to sleep your sleep. Shuebo waved his hand. The face formed by that Yinshan Supreme smiled. And then the face disappeared on the mountain wall. And the whole giant mountain calmed down again. Jian Wushuang sighed lightly, but his heart was still a little surprised. Master Shuebo, the Supreme Yinshan just now is a special life formed by mountains? Jian Wushuang asked. Yes. Shuebo nodded. The mountain you see in front of him is his body, 6,000 feet tall and 8,000 miles long. Jian Wushuang couldn't help but take a breath. The height of 60,000 feet, the length of 8,000 miles, this volume is too scary. Don't be surprised. There are many special lives in the universe, many of which are relatively large in size. And the larger the volume, the more divine power they have, and the greater the vastness. Like this Yinshan mountain, it is a crest of nature. Special life. And joined my life shrine many years ago. Under the cultivation of various resources in my life shrine, I have developed my own innate advantage of nearly 70%, which has a volume of more than 8,000 miles. And such a huge volume. The divine power that can be stored is a huge amount. Shuebo laughed. A special life at the pinnacle of fortune? Jianwu's eyes and pupils shrank. When he was in the early world of the divine realm, the person who heard the blood wave said that the special life is divided into 4 levels. The first level is the initial level. The second level is the universe level. The third level is the creation level. And the highest level, the 4th level of life, is perfect life. Life at the pinnacle level of creation is only one step away from perfect life. Unfortunately, this Yinshan has limited talents. He can only develop his own innate advantages by nearly 70%, and many remain undeveloped. This has caused him to have such a huge and incomparable body, but he can't really full use. Even if he wants the compression of the divine power, to reduce the volume to the appearance of ordinary humans, he can't do it. If he can't perform the compression of the divine power, he can only keep this huge shape, even move it. It has become extremely difficult. So Yinshan has been staying here for a long time. It can be regarded as a guardian of the palace of my life. Shuebo rode. Guardian? Jian Wushuang looked. You can look down on him. Although his body is too big to move, his strength is very terrible. Depending on the powerful body, he can resist the top and supreme, with such a huge volume and endless divine power. Put it here, not to mention the top supreme. Even if the invincible supreme comes, there is no way to take him. He can't be killed at all. Shuebo said. The sword is unparalleled. It is supreme in itself. It can resist the top supreme. And with such a huge and immortal body, the stored divine power is endless. So the invincible supreme cannot help him. Master Bloodwave, can I fully ship my innate advantage in the Temple of Life? And if I play it perfectly, will my body become as big as this Yinshan Supreme? Jian Wushuang asked. Chapter 4106. One more arrived today. Under normal circumstances, the perfect level of life, once it develops its own advantages to a certain extent, will also have an extremely huge body. But whether it can compete with Yinshan depends on luck. But the perfect level of life. The potential is naturally better than the fortune. The level of life must be large. But the premise is that you must be able to develop your innate advantages. Bloodwave Road. How to develop? Jian Wushuang asked. First, relying on mysteries, such as the magic of life, was created by the master of the palace. It is purely to allow many special lives to develop the mystery of innate advantages as much as possible. Before, in your hometown, I only used the magic of life. The first volume is for you. This first volume of life magic can at best only let you play 10% more of your innate advantages. In fact, there are 6 volumes of the life shrine. If all of them are refined, you can play 60%. Come an innate advantage? Bloodwave said. 60%? Jian Wushuang frowned slightly. Yinshan can exert nearly 70% of its innate advantages, but it can't even compress its divine power to make its volume smaller. If only 60% of the innate advantages can be developed, then it is not as good as Yinshan. In addition to the magical powers of life, there are some very valuable treasures in the universe that can also give full play to one's innate advantages. And in my Palace of Life, there is an innate advantage dedicated to the development of special life. However, the Nirvana Pool of Life, which has been costly forged, will have a chance to enter the Nirvana Pool of Life for any special life that joins the Palace of my life. In the Nirvana Pool of Life, the innate advantages of special life will be further developed. How much more can be developed depends on personal ability. Xuebua said. Everyone has a chance to enter, so do I? Jian Wushuang's eyes brightened. Of course. Xuebua smiled. And this life Nirvana Pool not only allows you to develop your innate advantages as much as possible, but also helps you to awaken talents. Talented? Jian Wushuang stunned. The special life contained in the vast universe has talented supernatural powers, but this talented supernatural power can't be easily awakened. Only by developing its own innate advantages to 60% to 70%, and then using special treasures, such as those in the Palace of my life Nirvana Pool. Only then have the opportunity to awaken talents. And the talents of special life awakening are generally for the sake of gaining, and some can even complement themselves. Bloodwave Road. Complementary? What do you mean? Jian Wushuang wondered. Like this Yinshan, he also awakened his magical powers, and his natural powers is a unique means of separation. You must know that Yanshan's divine body is huge and difficult to move, which makes him unable to go out fight. But with the magical power of the day, he can condense his avatar, which has nearly 90% of his strength. But the divine body is not as powerful, and the divine power is not so vast. So these in the year, the deity of Yinshan always stayed in the Temple of Life, but his avatar has been smashing and killing outside. In addition, because he's just a clone, he doesn't have to worry about dying at all. This talented supernatural power is complementary to him. Bloodwave said. The sword is unparalleled. His deity can't move, he can't go for a break, so he has a talent that can gather unique avatars. This talented supernatural power does indeed complement Yinshan. Come with me. Bloodwave with sword Wushuang swept away in front of the void. Along the way, Jian Wushuang saw a variety of mountains, lakes, and dense forests. There is no doubt that the volume is very large, and Jian Wushuang feels some special atmosphere in these lakes and dense forests. Obviously, there are some special lives hidden in those lakes or mountains. It didn't take long for Jian Wushuang to finally reach the heart of the Temple of Life. I saw a group of ancient towering buildings standing tall. The first thing Jian Wushuang saw in front of me was a huge, dozens of feet high ancient stone gate. This stone gate is so atmospheric that there are 4 stone gates at the top. Bronze characters. Temple of Life. Besides Shermen, there are 2 huge statues of strange beasts, all of which are guardians. At the foot of this stone gate, there was an suffocating oppression immediately oncoming. This oppression was not sent out by a practitioner, but the ancient stone gate, the 4 gilt characters on the stone gate, and the 2 natural beast statues that were naturally entrained by the weak. This kind of oppression is extremely powerful, even though Jian Wushuang can't help shaking his heart. Is this the majesty of the top forces in the universe? Jian Wushuang secretly exclaimed. Fortunately, he has kept cold as frost in Jintian Monument, otherwise with cold as frost, under this stone gate. I am afraid that Wolverine. Come with me. Bloodwave took Jian Wushuang toward the stone gate. After a short while, I came to the purple temple. At the door of this purple shrine, there is a bare girl with a dirty body sitting there, holding a chicken leg in his hand. 9 deaths, Shueba said. Supreme blood. Seeing the blood wave coming, the dirty girl immediately got up and saluted. Why are you free here today? I'm here with the little guy. Xiebo pointed to Wu Jian's sword. Oh, the dirty girl glanced at Jian Wushuang with a surprised look. The little guy who came to the Temple of Life for the first time. Let the Supreme Master of Bloodwaves personally pick you up? It seems that this little guy is extraordinary. Could it be a top of the best, even the highest level life? Said the dirty girl. Don't ask so much. Arrange a life test for this little guy right away. Shueba said. Yes. The dirty girl nodded, and immediately entered the purple temple, and began to prepare. Predecessor Shueba, what is this life test? Jian Wushuang asked. It's very simple. It's a test of the level of life. For any special life, the first time you come to my life shrine, you must first pass the life test to check out the specific level of life. And different levels of life, within the palace of my life, naturally have different permissions. Shueba wrote. Is that so? Sword unparalleled. The dirty girl soon came out of the purple temple. Extreme blood waves already arranged. Dirty girl said. Well, Jian Wushuang, you go in. Shuebo commanded. Yes. Jian Wushuang nodded and took a deep breath. Even though Xian stepped directly into the purple temple. It can only be updated slowly. And I haven't been busy for a while. That is, starting next week, it will be easier. At that time, I will start to make changes, plus today I owe the next update. And I already owe the 3rd update. Chapter 4107. Jian Wushuang has entered the purple temple, while Bloodwave Supreme and the dirty girl are waiting outside the temple. Being able to let Supreme Master Xia personally lead, this little guy's life level is not low. The dirty girl thought for a while secretly. At the same time, she took a quiet look at the Supreme Master Xia, but found that Supreme Master Xia had a look indifferent and confident. This self-confidence makes the dirty girl more sure of what she thinks. Well, there are results. The dirty girl looked up at the temple in front of her. I saw this towering purple temple, but at this moment it was a dazzling red light from the abrupt urn. This red light is like a sunset, shining on the surrounding void, so that the entire surrounding void becomes red. Red light is everywhere. Is it red light? The dirty girl was startled. She has been standing in front of the purple temple for a long time. During this period, a large number of special lives came to the purple temple to test the level of life, and the final result of the life test was nothing more than 4. The first type is the white light that is emitted. This white light represents the initial life, which is the most mediocre among special lives. The second type is the silver light, which represents a special universe level life. The third type is the cyan light, which represents the creature level life, and the stronger the cyan light, the higher the level in the creature level life. The fourth type is the highest level, the perfect level of life. The light from the purple temple is the red light. And now, the purple temple is glowing with red light. Obviously, the sword unparalleled in the purple temple is a perfect life. It turned out to be perfect. The dirty girl looked so stern, and he immediately understood why Jian Wushuang was qualified to have one of the Chief Supremes Bloodwave Supremes personally go to pick him up. Perfect level of life. This is definitely a treasure level for the life shrine. Under normal circumstances, it is difficult to conceive a perfect life for hundreds of times in the vast universe. Life shrine, although it is the base of all kinds of special life, but in the life shrine, there are only 3 perfect lives. Of these 3, 2 are extremely ancient supreme, who have lived endless years. Until now, that one is the master of the ultimate level younger, but also lived hundreds of times of chaos. These 3 people in the Temple of Life, they all have a very high status. and sword unparalleled, is the fourth perfect life of the Temple of Life. As soon as the sky is full of red light, those old guys are probably shocked, right? The dirty girl secretly said. It is true that the sky is red, although the coverage is not too large, but here is in the Palace of Life, and there are countless powerful people. As soon as the sky full of red light appeared, many strong men in the Temple of Life were shocked, and their statures rushed over at a rapid speed. In just a few moments, dozens of figures had gathered in front of this purple temple. These dozens of figures, among them the Supreme Strong, accounted for nearly half. After they arrived, they also saw the existence of blood waves. Bloodwave Supreme. I've seen Bloodwave Supreme. These powerful men all saluted. Although they are all strong in the Palace of Life, even the Supreme is present, but the Bloodwave Supreme is one of the chief extremes in the Palace of Life. Both are higher. Bloodwave. Another person rushed over. This is a big man in scarlet battle armor. The strong man was carrying a giant axe behind his back, and the whole man was like a big axe, who wanted to split the sky. And this strong man is the only person present who can directly call the name of Shuebwa. Obviously, his status is not lower than that of Shuebwa. Big Axe, you are also here. Bloodwave Supreme looked at this big man. The sky is full of red light, representing perfect life. I'm in the palace and not far from here. Naturally, come over and take a look. The sturdy man smiled slightly, then looked at the purple temple ahead. Who in this temple? Returning to the great axe. Now in the temple is a little guy named Jian Wushuang. This little guy was personally introduced to the palace by Blood Boss. And when he came to the palace for the first time, he must be treated in accordance with the rules. Perform a life test. And that's where it is now, said the dirty girl. Bloodwave, did you get this little guy personally? The strong man looked at Bloodwave again. Yes. Shuebo nodded with a smile. More than 100,000 years ago, my consciousness living in the universe was in an ordinary third-level astral world. When I saw this little guy, I saw that he was perfect. Life. So he approached him at that time, and asked him to join the palace of my life. Not long ago, he came to the depths of the universe and sent a message to me, and I brought him to the palace. Bloodwave Channel. Leading a perfect life, Blood, you have given me great contribution to the Palace of Life. The strong man laughed. The level of life is important, but whether this little guy can become a top powerhouse in the future is still unknown. Bloodwave waved his hand. At this moment. Huh. Bloodwave Supreme raised his head in response to the strong man. I saw the purple temple full of red light in front of them. But in the middle of that temple, there was a sudden burst of bright golden light. What? Supreme Xinghua was astonished with the strong man. Golden light? What's going on? The red light is full of sky is indeed the perfect life is not fake. But how can the golden light glow after the red light of the sky? This purple temple dedicated to testing the level of life. So far, it seems that no one is testing out the golden light when testing. What's the matter? The strong men in the surrounding life shrines have also become strange. Special life, for different levels, corresponding to 4 different rays. But there is no golden light. It seems that this little guy's life level is not just as simple as perfect life. The strong man's eyes narrowed. He's out, Shuebo said. The door of the purple temple has been opened again, and Jian Wushuang has slowly walked out of the purple temple. As soon as he stepped out of the temple, Jian Wushuang immediately saw a large number of strong men gathered in front of them. The strong ones had an overwhelming breath, and the weakest were the ultimate dominating levels. Among them, there were more than a dozen of them. Make him feel trembling. Obviously, these more than 10 people are all supreme-level strong men. Seeing this scene, Jian Wushuang couldn't help but startled. Chapter 4108. The first is here. So many supreme? Jian Wushuang secretly exclaimed. The supreme strong. The peak of the universe exists. Even in the depths of the universe like the strong, it is very difficult to meet one. But now in the Temple of Life, right in front of him, there have been more than 10 extreme. And more than a dozen supremes are staring at him, obviously all because of him. Sword warriors, come here. Blood waves beckoned toward the sword warriors. Predecessor Xuebua. Jian Wushuang immediately came to Zuibo's side. I'll introduce it to you. The one next to me is a giant axe. He, like me, is also one of the chief supremes of the Temple of Life. Bloody Road. There are a total of 5 chiefs of the Supreme Palace of Life, all of whom are tops. Since this giant axe is also the chief supreme, it is naturally also a powerful one. It can open up the top supreme of the kingdom of God alone. I have seen the supreme axe. Jian Wushuanglian salutes respectfully. 3rd level dominates. The magnificent man's giant axe looked down at Jian Wushuang. Sword Wushuang. How long have you cultivated? More than 300,000 years. Jian Wushuangdo. Only more than 300,000 years? The supreme axe couldn't help wondering. The powerful men next to the Temple of Life next week were surprised when they heard this. For 300,000 years, it was too short for everyone present. You must know that the time required for an ordinary cultivator to grow from birth to is extremely long. Except for those who have a background in the sky and cultivated with a lot of resources, they can save a long cultivation time. But even in such cases, it only takes 300,000 years to reach the 3rd level master level, which is still considered to be that's great. But the sword is unparalleled. There is no background in the sky, and she is on his own, slowly practicing at the edge of the universe. The most important thing is that he is still the perfect life. Difficult to count. All these conditions combined, he still reached this step in about 300,000 years. It is incredible. Haha. It seems that it won't be long before my life shrine, and I will be able to give birth to another heavenly powerhouse. The giant axe laughed, but suddenly he turned his hands, and a whole body of crystal fruit appeared in his hands. He took the fruit in front of the sword without double sides. It's rare to see another perfect life with great potential in my palace of life, and it can't be without any expression. The god fruit of this middle-class rule can be regarded as a meeting gift for you. Meeting ceremony? Jian Wushuang stunned, hesitating. Let us take it down, this rule is so fruitful you need it. The blood wave on the side laughed. Thank you, Supreme Axe. Jian Wushuang no longer hesitated, reaching out to take over the crystal fruit. He put this crystal fruit in his hand, and Jian Wushuang felt the power of a good cosmic law from this fruit the first time. This rule of God fruit, although it is more common among the many God fruits in the universe, is also the most widely used. A law God fruit contains the power of the universe's laws. Under normal circumstances, a master if you can devour an ordinary inferior law God fruit, there is hope to understand a little law of the universe. Xuebo said, Sword unparalleled. Have you ever understood the law of the universe? I have come to understand the laws of the universe. Jian Wushuang said, but did not say that he has reached a certain level of understanding of the laws of the universe. Oh, Bloodwave's supreme eyes brightened. Only the 3rd series dominates the hierarchy, and you can comprehend a rule of the universe, and this understanding is extraordinary. It's very good. Great Axe Supreme nodded with a smile. Since you have already realized a certain rule of the universe, then this rule of God fruit will be more useful to you. After all, those who do not understand the law of the universe, although there is a certain chance that they can understand it a little by swallowing the rule, it's too low. And if you realize a bit of the law of the universe, after you swallow this fruit, the speed of understanding the law of the universe will increase greatly in the next year. This is just the fruit of the top quality rule, and the giant axe has just given you the fruit of the middle class rule. But in the universe, you can sell 500,000 cosmic source stones. If you swallow this of quality, in the next 10 years, your speed of understanding the laws of the universe will increase greatly. Xiebo laughed. Qi Jian Wushuang suddenly rejoiced. The fruit, the rule of Chinese goods worth 500,000 yuan of stone, is expected to have a lot of effects even for the general supreme strongman. But for him, the effect is certainly greater. Of course, although the god of fruits is very useful to you, do hurry to swallow it. After all, there is only one god fruit. You can wait for an opportunity. For example, if you have a special occasion, swallow it again. Serving this fruit will do more with less. Shuebo said again. I see. The sword had no double focus. Well, the meeting gift is also given. If you practice well, I will leave first. Thank you, Axe Supreme. Jian Wushuang thanked again. The giant axe waved his hand and left. After the great axe left, Shuebo suddenly spoke. Bloodwave Supreme. A supreme next to him immediately stepped forward. This little guy has just come to the Temple of Life, and has not been baptized by the Nirvana of Life. And this Nirvana of Life has always been your responsibility. You tell me, when will the Nirvana of Life be open next time? Shuebo asked. The Nirvana of Life is usually open once every 1,000,000 years, but the sword Wushuang itself is perfect life, and it has only been cultivated for about 300,000 years now. Naturally, there is no need to wait so long, so I will go back and prepare a little one turn. 20 years later, Nirvana of Life was opened. Okay. Bloodwave nodded. Jian Wushuang, come with me. I will take you to the palace to find a place to stay. After the sword Wushuang and the blood wave left, the strong men of the Temple of Life, who were strong in the Purple Temple, were all talking about it. The treatment of perfect life is not the same. Not only will he let Bloodwave Supreme personally take him in, and take him for a life test, he will even take him to find a place to live. Not only that, did you not see the giant axe just now? Did you give the gift of a meeting? I dare say that if you change to a creature of good quality, even if it is a creature of the highest level of life, the giant axe will not be of Chinese goods. As a gift to him, the fruit of the rule of Chinese goods is a fruit. Is it a more valuable treasure for ordinary supremacy? Chapter 4109. 2 more arrived today, but this sword Wushuang is really powerful. It is a perfect life in itself, and has also learned the laws of the universe. What's more important is that he has cultivated so far for more than 300,000 years. Such a genius is indeed worthy of the blood, and the Supreme takes it so seriously. 3 years of practice, you have such achievements. Look at it. Maybe this sword Wushuang can really become another super existence of my life shrine in the future. These powerful men are talking quietly. They all feel that Jian Wushuang is highly treated, but no one feels that there is anything wrong with doing this. After all, in the Temple of Life, and even in the entire universe, strength determines status. Jian Wushuang is the perfect level of life, and understands the laws of the universe. Such super geniuses are absolutely rare in the Palace of Life, and they have a very high level of treatment, and that is justified. At best, these strong men are envious of 1 or 2, but there will be no complaints. The Shrine of Life is huge and immense, and there are countless powerful people hidden inside. With the sword unparalleled, Sun Shuebo passed through a large group of buildings, and finally came to a continuous mountain range. There are many kinds of manor houses in this huge mountain range. My Shrine of Life can be said to be the base of countless special lives in the entire universe. There are too many special lives throughout the vast universe, and those who choose to join my Shrine of Life account for more than half. And most of these special lives are wandering outside, and only a small part of them choose to live in the palace of my life. But even if they are only a small part, there are still many. Because there are too many, there are 9 mountains in my Shrine of Life for living. Among them, the 1st to the 3rd mountains, the inhabitants are the supreme class strong, the 4th to the 9th mountains. The dweller is the master and the ruler of some rules, and you are now in the 6th mountain. This 6th mountain range stretches for 3,000,000 miles, and has countless manor houses, lofts, and temples. Many of them are uninhabited, and swords are unparalleled. You can choose a residence by yourself. Shuebo said. Wu Jianwushuang nodded. He let Lung Rushuang come out of the independent space of the town Tianbei, and immediately they searched in this 6th mountain for a while before they found a relatively satisfactory manor house as their residence. The sword is unparalleled. In the Palace of Life, generally for creature-level life, you are qualified to let the palace arrange some slaves and maids for you. You are a perfect life. Naturally, you also have this authority. Should you arrange some for you? Asked again. Servant maid. Jian Wushuang showed surprise. Don't worry. These slaves and maids have been carefully selected from the kingdom of God in my palace of life, and each one has been cultivated since childhood, and is completely loyal to my palace of life. Shuebodeo. Slave is not needed, choose 10 maids for me. Jian Wushuangdo. Okay, I'll let people arrange it. Shuebo smiled slightly, and Jian Wushuang glanced at his wife beside him. He doesn't really need any maids. The reason why he wants to arrange 10 maids is purely for his wife. After all, I am in this palace of life. Most of the time is used for cultivation. I really cannot spend too much time with my wife, and my wife has no friends in this palace of life. For a long time, it is inevitable I feel boring, and with these maids, I can at least accompany my wife to talk. Yes, this sign is for you too. Bloodwave waved and took out a sign. What is this order? Jian Wushuang doubtfully accepted. This order symbol is the content of the 2nd to 6th volumes of the Magical Power of Life. Shuebo looked at Jian Wushuang and said, I told you before that as a special life, to develop your own innate advantage, you must first rely on mystery. This life is supernatural. Normally, if you refined all 6 volumes, at least 60% of the innate advantages can be developed. You have only cultivated the first volume before, and only barely developed 10% of the innate advantages. After 20 years, E will take you to the nirvana of life. At that time, you will get the baptism of life, so that your innate advantage can be exploited as much as possible. And at that time, you can directly cultivate this magical power of life. Predecessor Bloodwave, do you want me to practice this supernatural power at the same time when performing the baptism of life? Jian Wushuang stunned. Yes. Shuebo nodded. Life magic is quite esoteric. Most people want to make all 6 scrolls of life magic. It is very difficult, and the progress is very slow. This mystery will do more with less. Many of the special lives in the Shrine of My Life, mostly during the life baptism, practice this life power. Generally, you can cultivate the life power to the 4th, or even the 5th volume, and cooperate with the life baptism to absorb a lot of treasures. You can develop your own innate advantages to 60% to 70%, and some can even develop to 80% or even 90%. Is it just 80% or 90%? Didn't you develop your innate advantage to 10%? Jian Wushuang asked. 10%. It is almost impossible to rely on mystery alone or special treasures, but the combination of the two is hopeful. But it is too difficult to fully develop all of our inherent advantages. Now, since the birth of my life shrine, I do indeed know how many special lives I have, but I can truly develop my innate advantages perfectly. In the whole history, there are no more than 10. Bloodwave Road. Since the birth of the entire Shrine of Life, there have been less than 10? Jian Wushuang was startled. How long has it been since the creation of the Temple of Life? Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of chaos, even longer? How many special lives have you joined in the Temple of Life in these long years? This number can definitely scare people. But with so many special lives, there are only less than 10 people who can fully develop their innate advantages, which shows the difficulty. Of course, although the difficulty is great, at least some people have succeeded before. This is a great hope for Jian Wushuang. He is perfect life in itself, if he can fully develop his innate advantages. To fully develop your own innate advantages, you can work as hard as possible, but it is best not to give too much hope. Bloodwave is pouring a basin of cold water on Jian Wushuang. But you are perfect life. Even if you will not, the innate advantage has been fully developed. Even if only 70% to 80% is developed, it should be very good. Chapter 41:10. The first is more. Well, everything I have to tell you has already told you. As for the rest, you should slowly explore it yourself. I will go first. Bloodwave said. Thank you, Senior Bebe. Jian Wushuang quickly thanked him. Xie Shuebo waved his hand and left directly. Fu Jun, this Temple of Life is really strong. Lung Rushuang sighed as he watched the blood waves disappear. The entire universe, countless special life base camps, of course strong. Jian Wushuang nodded and looked at his wife. Shuang Air. I am afraid that we will spend a long time here. As long as you are by my side, but anywhere you can. Lung Rushuang smiled. Unfortunately, Qing Er and Xian Er are in the early world of God. If they were here, it would be perfect. Qing'er and Xian'er are too weak. They still haven't been able to break through and become the master. There is no capital in the universe at all. Wait for a while. They will break through and become the master. I am in the depths of the universe. I also completely stabilized my heels, and I thought of a way to take them all over. At that time, our family would reunite. Jian Wushuang said. Well, I believe this. It won't be too far away. Cold Rushuang nodded. The following time, Jian Wushuang became familiar with the environment of the Life Shrine. But soon, the news of a perfect life in the Shrine of Life also spread throughout the Shrine of Life. Is also in the 6th mountain, in a delicate loft group. Master. An old man in black hurriedly walked to the top floor of a loft. I was there. There was a white-haired boy, drinking the wine in a bowl leisurely. This white-haired boy looks like Wen Yu, has a beautiful face, and is charming. It looks better than many women, especially the pair of eyes and eyes of the white-haired boy. They are like gems and emit a special light, which is extremely attractive. Note. Slave, what's so anxious? The white-haired boy still drank, and glanced at the old man in black casually. Is the name of the old man in black? The old man in black was himself one of the slaves of the white-haired young man. Because he was most heavily regarded by the white-haired young man, he would rank first among many slaves. Master, just got the news. There is a red sky full of light in the Life Test Temple. There is a new perfect life, came to the Temple of Life. Inu said. Oh, a new perfect life? The white-haired boy looked, his wine bowl dropped involuntarily. After all these years, has the palace finally ushered in a new perfect life? Slave, can you find out? The white-haired boy asked. It has been found out that this person's name is Jian Wushuang, who was personally brought back from the outside world. He heard that the sword has been cultivated for more than 300,000 years, but has reached the 3rd level of domination. I have also realized a trace of the law of the universe. Inu said. Understanding a bit of the law of the universe? The white-haired boy stared. He practiced for 300,000 years, and reached the 3rd level, which he didn't care about. After all, there are various opportunities for the promotion of the realm. There is not much difference between 300,000 years of cultivation and 3 million years of cultivation. But at the 3rd level of the level, you can understand a bit of the law of the universe, which is not ordinary. You must know that perfect life belongs to the rare horns, plus the 3rd level can understand the laws of the universe, which must belong to the most incredible super genius in the universe. The potential is so great that it is completely inestimable. It is a perfect life in itself, and it is able to have a little cosmic law in the 3rd order level field. It is no wonder that the Supreme Master of Blood is going to lead in person. The white-haired boy smiled slightly. Not only that, after the sword Wushuang tested his level of life, the Great Axe Supreme rushed there in person, and gave the sword Wushuang a meeting gift on the spot. He was ordered to manage the Nirvana Supreme of Life Nirvana Pool, and ask him to open the Nirvana Pool of Life after 20 years. The god of fruits of Chinese goods rule? The white-haired teenager's complexion finally showed some changes. Well, even when I entered the Temple of Life, I was only given an enlightenment god fruit. It was still inferior. The value is less than 100,000 source stones, but this man named Jian Wushuang was given a fruit of the rule of Chinese goods, or was given by the Supreme Axe Supreme himself. Seeing those old guys in the womb, compared to me, we should be more optimistic about this sword. Not at all. A slave nodded. Now the news of the sword unparalleled has spread throughout the Temple of Life. In our 6th mountain alone, a large number of servants and servants quietly talk about it, saying that the Temple of Life the senior executives are too eccentric, and are fighting against you. Eccentricity? There is nothing eccentric or eccentric. In the Palace of Life, any resources must be tested for their own strength. Since those old guys are optimistic about this sword Wushuang, they feel that the sword Wushuang has greater potential than me. So I only need just prove that the sword Wushuang is worse than me. The white-haired boy smiled. Slave, Do you know where the sword Wushuang lives? Like us, also in this 6th mountain, master. Are you going to find the sword Wushuang trouble now? Inu looked over. Stupid, the white-haired boy rebuked. This sword Wushuang has just arrived at the Temple of Life, and has not even visited Nirvana Pool of Life. If I go to him now, even if it is a shot, defeating him is nothing glorious. To fight with him and prove that he is far inferior to me, it also requires him to go through the baptism of life, develop his innate advantages to his extreme, come out of the nirvana of life, and then go no later. The master taught it. A slave smiled. Wait, in another 20 years, he will go to the nirvana pool of life. At that time, we can take a good look at how much benefits he can get in the nirvana pool of life. His inherent advantages can also develop a few %. The white-haired teenager smiled. The owner went to the nirvana of life for the first time. With the help of the magical power of life, he developed 70% of his innate advantages in one breath. Later, he got some special opportunities to develop his innate advantages again. Now he has developed 80%. In terms of life, being able to develop 80% of his own innate advantages is very good. And the sword is unparalleled. But he has been practicing for more than 300,000 years. He is definitely not as good as the owner. I guess he is in the nirvana pool of life, and can use himself. It has been considered good to develop 60% of the innate advantages, said Inu.